good now.
Bring that, no, bring that 80, 40.
I don't know, man.
That looks pretty good.
No, that's good now. It spikes.
It's spiked for a second.
It's the placement.
And I'm moving something right now. Sorry.
So this
While you're getting levels, I'm moving the microphone.
I'm touching them and tapping them. And
yeah. Are these things on? Cool. So, and I'll give you just my philosophy on miking acoustic guitar, and this is strictly just my philosophy. And like everybody, just as there are a zillion different types of guitars and a zillion different types of microphones, everybody has their own way of doing it. So you got to figure your own way out. The way I learned, and I always did it, was using a small diaphragm condenser mic. That's just me. Kind of pointed where the neck meets the body, kind of at a 45-ish degree angle, although these we couldn't quite all get like that. That's just me. Some people use 2 mics, some people use 4 mics, some people use large diaphragms, whatever you want to do. I've always used a KM184 or a KM84 Neumann by itself, and that was my guitar set.
That's just because you're the rep.
That was before I was the rep, actually. That was way before I was the rep.
That's how he got the job.
Yeah, exactly. It's dependent upon, you know, we're doing a solo guitar thing. If we were doing a solo guitar record, I would have probably a stereo pair of something. But a lot of stuff I did was a guitar in a band, and it was just one instrument among 5 or 10 instruments. It didn't need to take over the whole mix. It just needed to kind of cut through a little bit, just hear enough of the strumming. So this picked up a lot of high end and a lot of body, but high end, so it would cut through the mix. So that's why I would always, my first thing is to grab one microphone and stick it kind of where it's at right now, just so you guys know why I'm doing what I'm doing. It doesn't work on every guitar, it doesn't work on every player, and I've done solo acoustic stuff before, and then I've used a stereo pair. Because if it's just a guitar by itself, sitting in the mix by itself, one mic's probably not going to cut it. It needs to be a stereo to fill everything out. So, and room mics and all kinds of garbage.
So I remember those KM100s that we put on strings. Remember, Greg? Greg was doing a project with the orchestra. They sounded awesome.
KM100 are fantastic. Yeah, they're really good. Not many people know about those microphones, actually. Not many people in the States know about those microphones.
I didn't even realize we had them.
They're awesome. Don't get rid of them ever.
Yeah, we didn't know they were here. We dug around, we found them.
They were sweet.
Yeah, they're killer. So. And I have, maybe we'll see if we have time later. I have not even a stereo mic. I have a dual capsuled microphone that we can plug in that is 2 outputs for 2 capsules that you change polar patterns with fader adjustments and phase reversal in the computer.
Well, that's cool.
Super cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But that's later if we have time.
Yep.
All right. Let's try it. Whatever you want. You want to do the strumming thing like that? Okay. Cell phones off?
Yes, seriously.
I forgot to bring my recording sign on. Man. Good.
Ready?
Bucking, something like that, maybe?
Wait till he shows you his union card. You'll be like, oh shit, I forgot to check. Yeah.
I'll just take each one of these microphones.
Now you got him.
Yeah.
60 grand.
You know we're not quick.
Shut the door.
That's it.
Let's hear the first one. We can just kind of page through that. 184. Yeah.
I was getting more pick out when we went digital.
And it's, you know, again, we're spread all over the place, and we're definitely not in the sweet spot.
Come sit in the sweet spot.
That's why it'll, you know, if you guys can get the files off of this and take them home and listen, it's better to hear in a pair of headphones. But what I heard is, and part of it's placement, because even though we're only an inch away, we're an inch closer to the hole, and it's the analog is getting a little bit more boom, to it because we're closer to the hole. This one's getting a little bit more high-end pickup because we're a little bit further away. But there's the clarity in the digital that you get, and it's not like even more high-end. It's just more clear. Yeah. And the KM184 analog is a little bit
smears it like.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a muddy smear. Yeah, exactly.
Like fog all of a sudden came in.
Exactly, and again, part of it's placement, and that's, you know, you got to take that into account. But they're close enough, and we're far enough back that we're getting somewhat of the same sonic picture. So, and it's going to be hard to hear, but that's, for me standing over here, that's what I heard. Is that, but it's not super noticeable, right? Like, it's not like you're going, oh, that's the digital, oh, that's the analog, or whatever. It's they're the same microphones, the same capsule. They're supposed to sound the same, but we've basically taken a crappy A to D converter out of the equation. Not that this is a bad piece, but yeah, delete that. We love this, Abbott. We need more for free. We have taken the A to D converters and stuff like this. They're made to hit a price point because this needs to be $1,000 or whatever, you know. So they're not going to be the highest quality things in the world. It's understandable. They do other stuff that's cool. That's what they're supposed to be for. But we have taken out an analog preamp, another analog preamp stage. We think, and we're not exactly positive, we think we're going through 2 preamp stages. Because if I remember correctly, in the 03s, I don't think are much different from the 02s. Anytime you plug into anything analog here, you go through a preamp stage, whether you're plugging a mic in or a line level in.
Really?
Which means I'm going through a preamp here and a preamp there, which is noise above beyond noise.
Even DI? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think. And that's how the Digi 02s were. I'm not 100% positive, and we should probably ask the Avid guys. But anyways, so by going digital, you take out these noise stages, and this is not noisy, but this is. But we've also taken out an analog cable, impedance and level mismatches, and an A to D converter that's not the greatest in the world. That's the clarity. Also, that smear that maybe we're hearing, that smear is gone by going with digital, because there's not all that smear that can even take place. And noise, again, we were talking about, you mentioned no noise. I heard you talk about that earlier.
Right.
There is no noise floor in these mics, so, which is cool. Question?
Oh, no, I was just, you answered my question.
Okay. So, well, let's hear the other two. Let's hear, that was the, I guess I can play it. Forgot how to control. So this is, okay, this is the output. The MK884, this is the analog right now. Let's go analog to analog. So you hear this. So 8040. 184. A bit of a level difference. 8040. Res, and we're only recording at 44.1. We're recording at like the basic, I think it's 44.1 we're still at, right?
Yeah.
You know, the basic sampling rate that most people would use. These microphones, these analog MKH8040 mics, they're called RF condenser microphones, and you guys probably wouldn't know what they are because nobody else makes them except for us, which is weird because they're not. It's an old technology that since the 60s people were doing them. Everybody stopped making them. We kept making them. There's a bunch of advantages to it, but one of the advantages that we get is very low amount of any kind of distortion in the microphone, harmonic distortion, really low noise for an analog mic, but a high resolution frequency response. So we're talking 0 to 60K. So these things record up to 60K. All right, so we can hear 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz in theory, which of course we all can, right? I can definitely hear that.
About 21.
Yeah, yeah, about 20. Minus 10.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We can make him faster.
So, you know, you can only hear 20 to 20, but this microphone records up to 60K. But the thing that you don't hear are the harmonics you feel. So this is like, it's like you've just taken a blanket off the normal microphone by using it, because all of a sudden harmonics pop out at you. And it's nothing you can hear, but you can feel. And again, with headphones on, you'll really realize that. And if we were recording at like some kind of a high resolution in here, that's when it would really show itself. That's when this microphone would pop. You know what I mean? It's hard to describe it until you kind of hear it. That's why I like these microphones so much. So they just sound totally made differently, 100% different. I can't say one's better or worse. It's a lot more. Not the same thing. Hard to make and expensive. Really expensive. Very expensive. Put it that way. These are about $1,000. Guys, and that's those are inexpensive. We have shotguns I have with me that are actually great. Justin will have one like this. Yeah. He'll Craigslist it tonight. He's gonna go in his pocket. I don't know what's talking about. If it's not the guitar, I can't get it out. They're hard to make and they're expensive and they're I would say not so. Like ribbon mics have come back in style. I'm hoping RF condensers come back in style because we never stopped making them. They're a cool technology, but people just got away from it for whatever reason. Luckily, because if you do any kind of outdoor recording, field recording, and if you do a documentary in the jungle or something like that, or especially down here where it's humid, if you do something outside and you need a microphone to work for a week straight on the beach, in the woods, whatever, you are going to have to get an RF condenser. If you take a Neumann out there, the Neumann doesn't make RF condenser. Anything else, chef, AKG, Pure, whatever, it will stop working after a week. You're done. The moisture is going to kill it. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to stick it in, let it dry out, and it'll work a week later. RF condenser mics are impervious to humidity and moisture. They're not waterproof. You can't put them in the water. But moisture won't, people think that all the time. Moisture won't collect on the capsule, and it won't be affected by humidity. So when we have guys that listen or go into the jungle to do a documentary for a month, they will take nothing but RF condenser doctor license. That's the only thing that will come out of the jungle to work. Yeah. That must be like deadlier step too, with that all that stuff. Yeah, and if you watch any of the baseball playoffs, Fox uses all of these little mics, and I think they're using shotguns now, like the dugout, bullpens, on first base, all that noise that you hear, because they'll put these things out in the stadium and they'll leave them there until the playoffs are over. You know, which is cool. Yeah, because nothing else is going to work. Period. It's just that easy. Anyways, so that's my spiel. That's what just so you guys know, kind of. I don't know how special this is. I don't know if I should say that, but how different it is. That's all. They're not your normal microphones, and let's put it that way. So and so you heard the two analogs. Let's hear the analog versus the digital, the same thing.